Checkpoint training. So first of all, we will go through with the content which we will cover in this entire training. The content you can see on I-MEDITA website. How you can check it? Simply go to I-MEDITA website and at I-MEDITA website, go to live training, go to Checkpoint Firewall, and here you can see the content, whatever we will cover. You can get browser, click on it, and you can download it. You can download it. So this will be our content which we will cover in this entire training. Like we have here one. So first of all, we have here security platform and architecture. In this section, we will learn about what is firewall and what are the firewall technologies available in the market, like packet filtering, proxy server, stateful firewall, transparent firewall, and next generation firewall. Then we will talk about checkpoint Gaia features. What is Checkpoint Gaia operating system? How many features provided by Checkpoint Gaia? After that, we will learn here how to install Checkpoint Gaia in your laptop or desktop so that you can do practicals. Okay, I will also tell you that how you can make lab on your EVE-NG, using which you can do practicals. After learning how to make labs on EVE-NG, we will learn here like how to implement static routing and default routing on Checkpoint Firewall, how to implement RIP, how to implement OSPF. Then we will learn here IPv6 static routing, default routing implementation, RIP-NG implementation, and OSPF v3 implementation. In present time, we have three vendors which are providing firewall solutions. Like as you can see on the screen, we have Fortinet firewall. So this is the Gartner list. According to Gartner, there are three vendors: Fortinet, Palo Alto, and Checkpoint. These are the leader in present time who are selling network firewall. These three vendors provide same set of features in firewall. Name can be same or different. When we talk about Fortinet and Palo Alto, they support zone, or we can say they support security zone. Checkpoint also do the same, and same zone implementation. You will learn that how we can implement security zone or zones on Checkpoint firewall like Palo Alto and Fortinet firewall. As well as you will also learn how to implement time-based access. Means normally when we create rule, whatever we have allowed, that will be allowed for forever. If you don't want to allow for forever, you want to add time restrictions, we will learn here. After routing on Checkpoint firewall related to IPv4 and v6, then we will move to our next topic, which is here network address translation. In this section, we will learn what is net, why net is necessary, and types of net available on Checkpoint Firewall. Checkpoint Firewall support two types of net: static net and hide net. Same type of net implementation we will learn on IPv6. After netting, we will move to next section, which is IPsec VPN. Here we will learn what is IPsec VPN or what is site-to-site VPN, as well as we will also learn here that how to implement site-to-site VPN on Checkpoint Firewall using IKE version 1 as well as using IKE version 2. Okay. Not only on Checkpoint, we will also learn here that how to implement site-to-site VPN, Checkpoint to Cisco router, Checkpoint to Cisco ASA, Checkpoint to Palo Alto, Checkpoint to FortiGate, Checkpoint to Juniper, and Checkpoint to Cisco FTD. As I told you, we have leaders like Palo Alto and Fortinet. So first two labs or three labs will be here between Checkpoint to Checkpoint. Another, you will learn how to configure site-to-site VPN, checkpoint between checkpoint and Cisco router. There is also another device in the world which is mostly used, Cisco SA, you will learn. With Palo Alto, you will learn. With FortiGate, you will learn. With Juniper, you will learn. And Cisco, another firewall is Cisco FTD, you will also learn. And here we will also learn site-to-site VPN with multiple subnet with manual net. On Checkpoint, you can deploy net in two types. The first is outer net and second one is manual net. So we will learn all. Next, after site-to-site VPN, we will move to next VPN, which will be here. You can call it SSL VPN or remote access VPN. When we say site-to-site VPN, so site-to-site VPN is only configured between two branches. Like you have one branch in one city and another branch is another city. They are connected with each other. Now you want they should be able to communicate with each other. So you can deploy site-to-site VPN. So site-to-site VPN will work between or among multiple branches or between two branches. But now assume you have some work from home users and work from home users want to access the internal network of the company, then you can deploy remote access VPN or SSL VPN so that they can access your internal network in a secure way. So this remote access VPN is supported all vendors here. Done. After SSL VPN, next we have here introduction and implementation of identity awareness. Now question is this, what is this identity awareness? Let's discuss it with the help of diagram. So we have here identity awareness, or before identity awareness, just a brief introduction of site-to-site and SSL. So when we have, for example, we have one branch in one place and another branch in another city, they are connected with each other or via or with the help of ISP. Now we want their lane or resources should be able to communicate with each other. For that, we will deploy here which kind of VPN? IPsec VPN or site-to-site VPN. With the help of IPsec VPN, IPsec VPN, what we can make it possible? We can make it possible the resources or user of one branch, they can communicate with the user or resources of other branch. So this will be your site-to-site VPN, which is configured between branches. Next, we have here SSL VPN. Now we have different use case. We have headquarter. In headquarter, what we can assume? We have users and we have servers. They are connected with LAN environment, and that lane is connected with gateway, means checkpoint firewall. Checkpoint firewall is connected with internet, and internet is connected with a user which is work from home user. This is our work from home user. Now we want this remote user should be able to access our internal resources. For that, what we will deploy? For that, we will deploy here SSL VPN, or we can call it, we will deploy here SSL VPN, or this is also called remote access VPN. With the help of SSL VPN or remote access VPN, we can enable work from home user that they can access, he or she can access the internal network of a company in a secure way. So this is the purpose of your remote access VPN. Next, we have here identity awareness. So what is this identity awareness? Okay, let's understand it with the help of diagrams. We have here simple. We have a PC here. PC connected with switch. Switch is connected with checkpoint firewall. Checkpoint firewall is connected with internet. Now, normally, if you have idea, or if you don't have, simply on firewall we will create a rule may be like this. Rule, we have network, that if source network is 192.168.101.0, and if it is going to internet, then what we will do, we will allow it. So such kind of rule you can create on your checkpoint firewall. With this rule, what we are defining, if this is my source, this is my destination, this is source and this is destination, and this should be the action. Now we want to do one thing here. At Checkpoint Firewall, we don't want to deploy a policy based on source IP here. So what we have in our company, we are using Microsoft Active Directory. When we have Microsoft Active Directory, this Active Directory has users and group. We have groups like HR, like IT, like sales, like management. Now, what we want that this group information should be synchronized with Checkpoint Gateway, and at the place of source address, here we want to define one thing, and that thing is this. If we have the user belongs to HR, or user belongs to HR, belongs to IT, belongs to sales, or belongs to management, etc. If the user belongs to these AD groups, so these are AD groups here. We want that if our user belongs to these groups and they are going to internet, that should be allowed here. Now, this kind of policy implementation will be done when we are doing integration of AD and checkpoint firewall technology. So what we are doing, actually this is our AD and checkpoint firewall integration. So what we will call, when we are integrating Microsoft AD and checkpoint firewall with each other, that is called here identity awareness. That is called here identity awareness. So why we will do this? We will do this for two things. First thing that you can see in front of you, as of in previous scenario, we configured policy based on IP, but now we don't want to configure policy based on IP. We want to configure policy in our firewall based on AD groups, first thing. And second thing will be here like this, when we will get logs. Okay, when we will get logs at firewall, we will get log at firewall like this. For example, we have a user on this PC. First of all, what will happen? For example, there is a username like who is the user now? Okay, for example, we have here Nitin. So this is the Nitin user. Nitin user will join the AD. Suppose it belongs to IT here. Now, this AD will send information to checkpoint here, and when you will see the logs at checkpoint, now what you will get here? You will get here username in the logs like Nitin, okay, with IP plus destination plus action like this. So this is called here identity awareness. All firewalls support that all firewall can be integrated with Microsoft AD. That integration, someone call it user ID, someone call it FSSO, but checkpoint, if we are talking about checkpoint firewall can be integrate with Microsoft AD, so that we can achieve here two things. First, group-based policy. Second, accurate log information. For AD group based policy and accurate log information, we can integrate Microsoft AD with Checkpoint. That is called here identity awareness. In identity awareness, the method can be two types. First is called here AD query, and second implementation type will be here browser based authentication. Browser based authentication. So what is AD query? In AD query, user will join the AD and then AD will authenticate the user, and AD will also send the log information to firewall that this is the user belongs to this group. This information will be sent to firewall. Now user is trying to access the internet through firewall. Now firewall has already the idea that this user Nitin belongs to IT group and it can access to internet. So this will happen in your AD queries. Next we have here browser based authentication. In browser based authentication, user will not join the AD. Then what will happen? In that case, simply if this user want to access internet, then there will be the procedure like this. In browser based authentication, steps will be like this. For example, we are talking about here which one? Browser. We are talking about browser based authentication. In browser based authentication, client will send request to Checkpoint Firewall for authentication. Okay. Then second step, firewall will ask, okay, give me your username and password. Third step, user will give username and password to Checkpoint. In fourth step, Checkpoint will send the request or username and password to your AD. Now AD will give the information to Checkpoint. Yes, user is authenticated. Then user can access to internet. So this will be the flow when we are talking about browser-based authentication. Okay, or you can also call it captive portal. So keep your words simple. When we are integrating Microsoft AD with Checkpoint Firewall, that is called identity awareness. And identity awareness you can use for two or three purposes, so that you can deploy group-based policy, you can get accurate user information, or you can also achieve captive portal or user authentication. So this was something about that what is identity awareness. What is next? Next we have here introduction and implementation of HTTPS inspection. Someone or Palo Alto called it SSL decryption. What is this? Let's understand it with the help of diagram. Before we are talking about HTTPS inspection. Now, what will happen if we will not use HTTPS inspection? We have a PC connected with Checkpoint Firewall. Checkpoint Firewall is connected with internet, and this internet is connected with a server like HTTPS server. At firewall, what we will do? We will allow SSL or TLS. When we will allow SSL or TLS, then my client can establish SSL tunnel. Yes, my client can establish SSL tunnel with the server, and with this SSL tunnel, what user can do? User can do here secure communication. Okay, as we know that this SSL or TLS protocol were designed in the past so that client and server, they can do secure communication over internet. But along with this secure communication, they can also do, or user can also do, bad activity. Normal user will do secure communication, but if user intention is not good, or assume we have here bad user or whatever you can call it, this is an attacker. So what this attacker can do with this tunnel, they can download or upload with the help of this tunnel The attacker can download or upload here virus, they can upload or download here spyware, or there can be data loss. Okay, there can be data loss if we have a attacker or user intention is not good. So along with the secure communications, user or attacker can download or upload virus, spyware, and data loss. Now what we want that our user should not be able to download or upload virus, spyware, and data loss. For that, we should need that our firewall should be capable to see that what is going under the SSL tunnel. If the firewall see any suspected things, virus, that should be dropped, spyware should be dropped, data loss should be stopped here. So this thing you can only do when our firewall has HTTPS inspection capability. When we will enable HTTPS inspection on our firewall, then our firewall will look under the SSL tunnel and suspected traffic will be dropped here. This HTTPS inspection is also called SSL decryption on another vendor firewall. Another vendors like Palo Alto. On Palo Alto, this feature is called here SSL decryption. When we will enable HTTPS inspection or SSL decryption on our firewall, then our firewall will not let our client or user to directly establish tunnel with the server. Then what will be happen? After HTTPS inspection, single tunnel will not be there here. Then there will be two tunnels for one connection when we will enable HTTPS inspection. Like first tunnel will be here between here between client and firewall. So one tunnel will be here between client and firewall, and second tunnel will be between firewall and public server. When we have data in tunnel, at that time data will be encrypted. But when we have data at firewall we have data in plain text format. And when we have data in plain text format at our firewall, we can use here checkpoint blades. Okay, like we have here URL filtering blade, content awareness, threat prevention, application control. So you can use checkpoint blades like content awareness, URL filtering, and we have threat prevention as well as application control. The threat prevention, or you can ignore another one. What we can deploy? You can deploy here threat prevention blades which contain IPS, antibot, and antivirus. So you can use here IPS signatures, antivirus, and antibot signatures. You can enable them. So when we have plain text data, we will give them to security blades. If any virus is there, that will be blocked with the help of antivirus blade. If we have any bot, that will be blocked by antibot blades. And if there is an attack, that will be stopped with the help of IPS signatures. So these blades will clear the data or clean the data. So we can say here, these blades will convert the data in clean data. Okay, and that clean data will be either offered to user, or this clean data will be either upload to your public server. It can be upload or download. But remember it, then what is the role of HTTPS inspection here? HTTPS inspection will only convert your encrypted data in plain text format so that it can be processed by checkpoint blades like IPS, antivirus, and anti-bot blades. So with the help of HTTPS inspection, we can see that what is we can see here that what is going under the SSL tunnel. If something is suspected, then we can drop it with the help of blades. So this will be done with the help of HTTPS inspection. But again, I'm clearing here that with the help of HTTPS inspection, you will convert encrypted data in plain text format so that attacks can be detected with the help of checkpoint blades. So this is here HTTPS inspection or SSL decryption. It is just introduction. Whatever I'm talking about here, it is just an overview. Detailed learning we will do at the time of when the topic will come. So with the help of HTTPS inspection or SSL decryption, you can convert encrypted data in plain text format so that that plain text data can be offered to checkpoint blades like IPS, antivirus, antibot, and they can remove the impurity or they can clean the data. Clean data can be offered to particular user or can be uploaded to server. So this is something about here HTTPS inspection or SSL decryption. Next is here introduction and implementation of URL filtering. Why URL filtering is necessary here? Because before understanding it, have a look on the diagram. So this is our diagram here. We have a user here. User is connected with Checkpoint Firewall and Checkpoint Firewall is connected with internet, and at internet we know we have multiple different kinds of servers, like we have here one server, two server, we have three server, and number of servers are available, like we have here Google, we have here Facebook, we have here YouTube, we have here torrent servers, we have here like gambling servers. Now at Checkpoint Firewall or at Checkpoint Security Gateway, we have deployed policy or we have deployed network address translation. Using net, we have a user in our inside network using net feature that can communicate with Google, can communicate with Facebook, YouTube, torrent, or gambling website. By default, he or she can access all the servers. But now we want that our user should not be able to access torrent, gambling, and YouTube website. For that, we will enable here URL filtering feature. So Checkpoint Firewall has URL filtering blade. We need to enable that. When we will enable that, Checkpoint URL filtering blade already has inbuilt categories like Google. Google belongs to search engine. Facebook belongs to social site. YouTube belongs to streaming video. Torrent belongs to torrent, and gambling websites belongs to gambling. In this way, we have multiple inbuilt categories available on Checkpoint Firewall. Like this, we have n numbers of categories are there. By default, everything is allowed. So what you can do now, you can also define here action. Like when we are talking about search engine should be allowed, social site should be allowed, streaming video, block torrent, block gambling, block, or any another categories. It is up to you. You want to allow them or you want to block them. Then what will happen? If the user is saying, we have a user in inside network that is saying what that I want to communicate with, which one I want to communicate with Google. So Google is allow, request will be forwarded to server, then reply will be, user will get reply. Same here. If user is saying I want to access Facebook, that will be allow. But if user is saying no, I want to communicate with which one? YouTube, then according to policy, request will be denied. If user is trying to communicate with torrent server, torrent website, that will be block here. If user is trying to access any gambling website, for example, we have poker.com, that will be blocked here. Now, what is the benefit of URL filtering here? Checkpoint says that, okay, if you want to block that user should not be able to access certain URLs, that task will be done by proxy server. And when you will purchase proxy server, you have to invest the money to purchase the hardware, to purchase the license. But if you have Checkpoint Firewall, there is no need of proxy server. Simply you can do it with the help of URL filtering blade. You have to enable URL filtering blade on our Checkpoint Firewall. With the help of URL filtering blade, you will get an option. You can select the category, you can allow or deny them. So there is no need to purchase a dedicated server, dedicated hardware for only for URL filtering. So with the help of URL filtering, we can block torrent website because most of the viruses are spread with the help of torrent. Mostly users download stuff from the torrent website, like games, like movies, like softwares. So when you are downloading the softwares, movies and games from the torrent websites, they come with viruses, spyware and malware. When user will download, your network or system will be affected. So you can protect your organization from such kind of attacks or public attacks, or we can say from malware, by blocking that particular website. So in with the help of URL filtering, you can enable or disable or block category, single category or multiple category. Now question is this, that can we create own category on? Normally when we talk about checkpoint as inbuilt category, does checkpoint provides us an opportunity that admin can create their own category? Yes, you can also create your own category on Checkpoint Firewall, and those in that category, action is up to you. You want to allow or deny. So simply with the help of URL filtering blade or URL filtering, you can control that which kind of URL can be accessed in your organization or which kind of URL should be blocked in your organization. You can control it. And when we are using URL filtering blade, there is no need of any another solution when we have Checkpoint Firewall. Now, someone can ask, what is the difference in Checkpoint URL filtering or when we will do this same stuff with the help of proxy server? Proxy server will also do URL filtering. Checkpoint is also doing URL filtering. So what is the difference here? The difference between Checkpoint URL filtering and proxy server URL filtering is there. Proxy server can do more than URL filtering, which Checkpoint URL filtering, Palo Alto URL filtering, and URL filtering can't do. Then question is this, what do you mean by more control, which will be done by proxy server, which can't be done on your Checkpoint firewall. So for that, a feature which is available on proxy server, like we can deploy here quota base access. Quota base access. Quota base access means here, quota base access means here, for example, when we talk about simple URL filtering, in URL filtering, we can allow YouTube. Okay, this can be done by proxy server. But on proxy server, you can set here, for example, if we have a user here, simple user is like, you can assume IP 192.168.101.100. So we want to deploy quota base access that this user can access YouTube. This user can access YouTube. Okay, user can access YouTube here, but not for forever or not for unlimited time. User can access the YouTube until it will consume until it will consume 2 GB data. Okay, so user can access YouTube website until 2 GB of data. When this data or quota will complete, then your YouTube access will be blocked. So simple URL filtering can't deploy quota based access, but this can be done by the proxy server. Okay, so if you have want to deploy control like this, then you have to go to the solution toward proxy server. If you simply say no, we don't want to make our network complex, so what we can do, simple, either it should be allow or deny, then there is no need to purchase proxy server. Simply you can enable URL filtering and you can block that particular website or category. So this will be done with the help of URL filtering here. Next we have here content awareness. So what is the meaning of content awareness? Before going with content awareness, let's have a look. With the help of HTTPS inspection, we can convert our encrypted data in plain text, but we can't block that attack. Okay, that attack or virus or spyware will be blocked with the help of threat prevention. So simple SSL decryption or HTTPS inspection will convert the data only in plain text format, so that it can be handled or processed by another blades like content awareness and threat prevention. With the help of URL filtering, we can just control URL access. Now, next we have content awareness. The purpose of content awareness is this. Let's understand it with the help of diagram here. We have one PC. We have PC connected with Checkpoint Firewall. Checkpoint Firewall is connected with internet here, and this internet simply connected with a public server. Now what user will do? User will send request to your public server. Public server has some data. That data will be downloaded by user, but this data can contain exe file, it can contain PDF file, can contain text file, can contain a AVI file like this. So data can be, format can be any type. Now, for example, we have we have this is not system admin. This is simple user here. So what we have, we can deploy policy. We are talking about here like content awareness. And with the when we will enable content awareness, so we can enable control like we have when we have normal user. So we have simple here normal user, and we have here system admin. Okay, we have two users here, normal user and system admin. Now we will create rules on our firewall, for one for system admin, another for normal user. Like if we have files files like when we have .exe file, okay, when we have exe file as well as like for example torrent files or any kind of zip file or etc. It is up to you. Then we can define here action like what to do, deny. Then what we can do, or if we have here like file type, file types like any. This is system admin. System admin can download any kind of file. Now what will happen? Simple. When this normal user will send request, that request will go to public server, and if public server is sending the data, that data will be filtered through content awareness blade, and if this data contain exe torrent zip file, that will be blocked. So normal user will not be able to download certain types of file format, but if this data or file will be downloaded by normal system admin, so system admin can download any kind of file. So with the help of content awareness, we can control that which kind of content, which kind of data user is trying to download. We can deny that and we can allow that. Same feature is called in Palo Alto file blocking. The content awareness feature is called file blocking in Palo Alto firewall. It is only for your knowledge. So this will be done with the help of content awareness. But remember it, if you have not enable HTTPS inspection. If you will not enable HTTPS inspection and you have deployed content awareness, so this thing will only work for plain text, or it will work only for HTTP website. But if you have enabled HTTPS inspection, then this content awareness will work for both sessions, for HTTP website or HTTPS website. If you will not enable HTTPS inspection, then content awareness will not work for those sessions or those websites which are working on HTTPS. So before deploying content awareness, it is recommended that you have to enable HTTPS inspection so that you can deploy this profile or blade for all kind of traffic, for plain text traffic as well as for encrypted traffic. So with the help of content awareness, you can allow or deny the content which will be downloaded by user or uploaded by user. File format, some file formats are in front of you. If you want to know more, then, or if you want to know more how many file formats available, then you can check in your smart console dashboard when we will do practical. Next we have here threat prevention. So what is threat prevention? So till now, first thing, we have converted encrypted data into plain text. And next thing is here, we have identified the content with the help of content awareness and we have blocked it. But till now, we have not discussed about what will happen to virus, what will happen to spyware, or what will happen to bots, what will happen to malware, what will happen to attack. So if you want to block virus, bots and attack in your organization, you have to deploy or you have to enable threat prevention blade. So simple as we have diagram here. Next is here threat prevention blade. Simple, we have client connected with Checkpoint Firewall. Checkpoint Firewall is connected with internet, and internet connected with a public server. This is our public server. Okay, user will send request to public server. Public server has some data. Data can has virus, spyware, or any bot can be there. This data will be downloaded by a user. When user will download, then user will be affected. Now we want our network should be protected from virus, spyware, and bots or attack. For that, we have to enable threat prevention blade. So when we will enable here threat prevention blade, when we will enable threat prevention blade, then you will enable three things. First, antivirus signatures. You will enable anti bot signature and IPS signatures. So you will enable three things: antivirus, antibot, and IPS signatures. With the help of antivirus, what we will do? We will block virus. With the help of antibot, you will block bot traffic in your organization. And with the help of IPS signatures, you will block or stop attacks in your organization. Done. Now, this is our user. User is sending request to A. User is sending request to user is sending request to a public server. We have data or reply. When this data will come, this data will be filtered through antivirus signatures, anti-bot signatures, as well as that will be filtered through IPS signatures. Clear? So when any virus is there, that will be blocked by antivirus, so virus will be blocked. Spy, and here virus and spyware will be blocked with the help of anti-spyware. If you have any bot, that will be blocked by anti-bot. And if you have any attack is in that data, that attack will be blocked with the help of IPS signatures. Okay, it will be done by antivirus, antibot, antivirus, and IPA attack will be blocked by IPS signatures. Now, if you have simple or what we can say clean data, only clean data will be offered to your clean data. If any data that has no impurity or data is pure, only that data will go to user. So this will be done with the help of threat prevention. Now question is this, that attacks or viruses introduced every day or every minute. What about those? So what you can do, you can manually download or up you can manually, what you can do, you can manually update the signature. So or you can schedule the signature update. So antivirus, antibot, and IPS signatures, you can update them by manual, or you can schedule them. Okay, so on smart console you will get opportunity, you can manually update them or you can schedule them. Okay, after 1 hour or 2 hour, that they should be updated automatically. So what threat prevention blade is doing here, with the help of threat prevention, we are enabling here IPS signatures, antibot, and antivirus signatures, so that any kind of virus, bot, or attack should not enter in our organization. They should be stopped or blocked by the firewall when they are trying to enter in our organization. So this thing will be done by Checkpoint Security Gateway. Okay, and you can also enable it. And what about the signatures update? The antivirus, antibot, IPS signatures will be update. You can manually update them or you can schedule them. It is up to you. So clean data, or data will be cleaned, or data will be purified with the help of threat prevention blade. Or what is threat prevention? Simple. When we will enable antivirus, antibot and IPS signatures on checkpoint firewall, that combination of three blades is called threat prevention. Okay, so this was something about your threat prevention introduction. Next, what we have? Next, we have here application control. So, what is this application control? Let's understand it with the help of diagram. We have here a client. We have one client connected with checkpoint firewall. Checkpoint firewall is connected with internet, and internet is connected with my public servers. For example, that it connected with Facebook, or it is connected with Facebook, or it is connected with Gmail. At firewall, we have configured policy like this: anyone can access internet. Now, the user which is in my lane, this user will be able to access Facebook using dynamic port. It will hit to the server port number 443 and 1026. Then it will hit to the port number 443 of Facebook and Gmail. Now, what this user will do? This user will establish first session of SSL. Then there will be another session. Next, there will be another session. First of all, let me draw it sufficient. Now, look here. When user is communicating with Facebook, then first client will use dynamic port. It will hit to the port number 443. At that port number, first user is using here SSL. Under SSL, user is accessing Facebook. Under Facebook, they are using Facebook chat. They are using Facebook post. They are using Facebook games or Facebook like events like this. Same when client is hitting Gmail, client is using its dynamic port. It is hitting to the server port number 443. And first of all, client is using SSL. Then under SSL, client is using Gmail application or Gmail session. Under Gmail, they are using Google Docs. They are using Google Docs, Google Document Docs, Google Docs. Under Google Docs, what they can do? They can do upload, they can do download, and they can also do Google Docs sharing. Now, normally all these sessions or applications are allowed by default. But as a firewall engineer, I want that client should be able to establish SSL session, Facebook session, but client should not be able to establish Facebook chat, Facebook game session. Okay, they should be blocked. Rest of the sessions should work perfectly, but chat and game should be blocked. Same here, I want SSL should work, Gmail should work, Google Docs should work, but sharing, download and upload, this should not work. This should be denied. So this thing we can achieve with the help of application control. Application control. So what is this application control? It is in front of you. With the help of application control, we can control the application when user is trying to communicate with any server. Like we can control Facebook chat, we can control Facebook games. Another example, we can control Google Docs download, upload and sharing. When we want to achieve these kinds of objective, then Checkpoint application control will help us to do so. And this thing is called app ID in your Palo Alto firewall. Okay. Now you can also say that, okay, in application control, what is the meaning of application here? So we can go through with it. Actually, this is the client. In this scenario, we have client and we have here one server. So you have one client and server. So client is establishing multiple session under one session or one after another. So these are the actually sessions. You can call it session, you can call it connection, okay, or you can call it here application. It is up to you. Okay, so what is application control? With the help of application control, we can, with the help of, it, or we can say, with the help of application control, we can identify, monitor, and control the application between client and server. When client and server they are communicating, we can identify the application, we can monitor it as well as we can control it. So you can say, with the help of application control, when a client is communicating with the server, we can identify that session, connection or application as well as we can monitor it and we can allow or deny it. But remember it, when we are talking that these applications will work under SSL tunnel, to see what is going under SSL tunnel, if you want application control should work perfectly, before deploying it, we have to enable HTTPS inspection, because these application will work in secure environment or they will go in encrypted format, and if you want to see it, you have to enable SSL decryption or HTTPS inspection. So this thing you can do with the help of application control, and it is called app ID in your on Palo Alto firewall. Next, we have here checkpoint send blast. So what is this checkpoint send blast here? To understand it, first of all, let's go through with a quick review on the topics which we have discussed now. With the help of HTTPS inspection, we can only convert encrypted data in plain text format. With the help of URL filtering, we can block the URL access. With the help of content awareness, we can block content type which is trying to leave the organization or which is trying to come in the organization. Next, we have threat prevention. Using it, we can block virus, bot, and attack in our organization. With the help of application control, we can identify the application and we can control, allow, or deny it. But what is send blast here? The technique, URL filtering, content awareness, threat prevention, and application control, they will work only for non-traffic or for non-website or non-content or for non-attack. But what will happen if we are facing unknown attack in our organization? Unknown attack you can protect, your organization from unknown attack with the help of send blast. So what is send blast? Have a look here. This now let's understand it with the help of diagram here. We have a PC connected with Checkpoint Firewall or any vendor firewall or next generation firewall, like we have Checkpoint Firewall. Checkpoint Firewall is connected with internet. Internet is connected with public server. We have a user sitting on this PC. This user will send a request. This is our user is sending request to your public server. Okay, user is sending request to your public server, and public server will send data. In the response, public server will send data. We have Checkpoint Firewall, and at Checkpoint Firewall, we have enabled what? HTTPS inspection, URL filtering, content awareness, threat prevention, or application control. Now we can say here, we have configured a rule here. Like which kinds of rule we have configured here? We have configured here like HTTPS inspection, rule number 1, which we have configured here, rule number 1. So first thing we have configured here, HTTPS inspection. Next thing we have configured here, URL filtering, for example. Next is content awareness. Next is here threat prevention. And we have configured here application control. So these rules or features we have configured here: inspection, URL filtering, content awareness, threat prevention, and application control. Now, the data which we are receiving from public server in the reply, so that will match with our rule number 1. Okay, so this is our rule, and then in this we have already defined the action. So we also have here action. And what is the action? We have rule, then we have action. And action, if traffic will match with these rules or conditions or signatures, then what we will do? We will deny that. Okay. Now, if this data is encrypted, it will be decrypted with the help of HTTPS inspection blade or feature. If the request is going for restricted URL, that will be blocked by URL filtering. If we have any kind of content, you can block that with the help of content awareness. If any virus is there, then we have IPS or antivirus signatures are there. So we have enabled their signature. So everything is enabled here. And if that is the traffic will match with like any Facebook chat, that will be denied here. Okay, so we can say here rule number 1, which we can also mention as non-attack. Non-attacks. If we know the attack, then what will be the action? If we know the URL, if we know the content, if we know the virus, if we know the application, if we know the attack, then you will see here action is deny here. Now the data will receive. Now this data which we are getting, that will be match with these signatures. Okay, now this data we are getting, so this data will be try to match with HTTPS inspection, not, it will only to convert the data in plain text format. So this data will be matched with these threat prevention. So no match with URL filtering, not okay, no match, no match, no match, or no match. When the data is not matching with any kind of signature, it means it is clean, it is genuine, it is normal data. If we have no match, okay, if it is not matching, or we can say here, this will come and we will match it with these profiles. Okay, in present time, you are getting here that not applicable, not applicable, not applicable, not applicable, not applicable. The data is not matching with any unknown attack. If it is not matching, then what will be the action? Allow. Data will be allow here. Now you can see that when we don't have any kind of attack, then firewall will let the data go, or let the traffic to come inside. Now what will happen if this data contain any like content like what we have? For example, we have here exe file, or if this data contain any kind of virus. Okay, so when we have data like this data, yes, we are getting, but as of now, the data whatever we have, this contain normal data plus exe and virus. This data will come to firewall, and firewall will match it with its signatures. Now you can see exe and this one, threat prevention. Now content awareness blade and threat prevention blade will see content exe should block match, virus will match with threat prevention, it is matching. Now when the data is matching with our blade signatures, then what will happen? This will be denied by the firewall. So simple. When we talk about normal firewall will block only those attacks which are known. As of now, we know that firewall knows exe. It is matching with my content awareness profile. Action is it is matching, then deny. Then we have virus which that will match with threat prevention blade, and it is matching with my signature. What we have to do? Deny. So any data which will match with our signatures, and those signature says it is attack, that will be blocked by the firewall. So simple. Firewall, as of now, firewall is blocking or stopping that attack which is known for us. It is okay. But assume what will happen now, this data or file or traffic will be denied or blocked by the firewall. It's good. But what will happen if you think that our data contains 0-day attack? Now the server is sending data, and that data contain here what? That data contains ZDA. ZDA is called here 0-day attack, or it is also called here unknown attack. What will happen if our data contain 0-day attack or unknown attack? When data is coming with unknown attack, then what will happen? This data is coming. Now the firewall will match that attack information. Not, it is not matching with content awareness, it is not matching with threat prevention, it is not matching with application control. If it is not matching, or traffic which contains 0-day attack or unknown attack, now you can see here no match. When we don't have matching with the signature, then the data which has or have ZDA 0-day attack, that will be allowed by the firewall. That is now allowed. Now you can see that 0-day attack has bypassed the firewall. It will go to the client and then client will be compromised here. Now question is here how we can protect our network from 0-day attack. So 0-day attack will be identified with the help of signature. Question is this, who will provide us signature? Vendor will provide us signature. Now from where this when vendor will come to know when this virus will affect lot of system, then we will come to know, okay, we are under attack. Then we will scan our devices. When we will scan our devices, then we will come to know, okay, this file is suspicious. We will send the file to vendor will give the update. But question is this, when we will realize it, there will be too much delay. Can we make this process fast? Yes, we can make this process fast with the help of sandbox inspection. Yes, there is a technique that is called sandbox inspection, or it is called sandblast, or you can call it checkpoint sand blast. So what we do in sandbox inspection or checkpoint sandblast, in checkpoint sandblast we create a second rule, and in second rule we define firewall that if you have unknown attack, if you have unknown attack, then take this action. What is the action? Action is here send information to cloud or data center of checkpoint. Okay, so in sandbox inspection we create a second rule, or in sandblast or in sandbox inspection we create a second rule. And that rule says that, what this rule says that, this rule says that if attacks are unknown, then send information to cloud or data center. Now at internet somewhere we know that checkpoint is connected, so this is your checkpoint data center. Okay, now this firewall will send this attack information. Now you will see file is data is coming, it is not matching with our which one, it is not matching with our non-signature, then definitely it will match with our unknown attack. If it is matching with unknown attack, now what will be the action? Action will be this, we have to send this file. So this is the file. What is the file? Data plus it contain what? ZDA, this attack file with 0-day attack information, that will be submitted to, follow this checkpoint cloud. Now what we have done, we have submitted the data with which kind of attack? 0-day attack. It is submitted to checkpoint cloud. Now checkpoint has hired engineers. What they will do, those engineers will analyze it and they will find, yes, whatever we have received, this is, we can say it is virus or it is what? Attack. Then what they will do, they will generate solution, or you can called, they will generate signature for this. Now those signatures will be sent to firewall. Now checkpoint will send that solution or signature, or we can call it like antivirus signature, antivirus signatures. So that solution or signatures will be sent to checkpoint, checkpoint firewall. And at checkpoint firewall we have already enabled the what, which one? Threat prevention blade. And in threat prevention blade you will get the update. What you will get? You will get the threat signatures and you will get here. So the signature will be sent, the signatures will be sent from checkpoint cloud to checkpoint firewall, will be sent to checkpoint firewall. Then firewall will accept it. Firewall, what firewall will do? Firewall will accept it. That will be added into the database. Okay, when we have data signatures in our database. If this virus will again come, when this virus will again come, then this data will be matched with which one? That will be matched with content. Okay, as of now it is not matching, but now when we are checking with threat prevention blade, now you will see, yes, it is matching with our signature. The traffic match with our signatures. Then when traffic is matching with our signature, then what we will do? We will drop it. We will drop it. Okay, so this is called here sandblast or sandbox inspection. So what is checkpoint sandblast or sandbox inspection? In sandblast or sandbox inspection, we configure a firewall or IPS in such a way that if you see any file which is not matching with non-database, it means that has unknown, that may be possible it contain unknown attack. So that file will be submitted to cloud of the vendor. Then when the file will be submitted there, they will analyze it, they will work on it, they will generate solution. That solution will be trigger or will be sent or will be pushed to your firewall. Firewall will accept it, and now that signature will be loaded into the database. If the same attack is again trying to come in your organization, that will be blocked here. So you will also get the update. Suppose you have another, this is another company, so or another branch or another country here, so this update will also go to all checkpoint firewall which are participating in your sandblast checkpoint sandblast sandblast subscription. Assume if you are the first victim, you will help others to get protected, so this signature will go to all checkpoint firewall. If you are here, if you are the second one, then you have the latest attack information which is happening in the world. So what we are doing with the help of checkpoint sandblast, with the help of checkpoint sandblast, we are enabling sandbox inspection. And in sandbox inspection, we are configuring the firewall in such a way that you have to send unknown attack information to cloud or data center so that they can check it, they can generate solution, and that solution can be sent to us or can be sent to all checkpoint customers. Now question is this: can we protect our network or any network from initial zero-day attack? No. The first victim will always goes down, but yes, we can minimize the time. For example, to protect our network from zero-day attack, either we or other one, we need signatures. How we can get signatures as soon as possible? As soon as we will come to know about the attack. So with the help of sandbox inspection, we are getting awareness about the attack, that which kind of attacks are happening in the world, and when they will be informed to checkpoint or any another vendor, they will work on it, they will generate signatures, and those signatures will be offered to your firewall or they will send the update to their customer. Now question is this: okay, what will happen? So we can say here, before update, before update, if you don't have update, before update, JDA will be allowed, will be before update, zero-day attack will be allowed. But when you have update here, then we can say it after update, JDA will be denied. After update, zero-day attack will be denied. So this will happen in your sandbox inspection. In sandbox inspection, we can send unknown attack information to our vendor as soon as it is possible so that we can get update as soon as they are available. But yes, initially, if any unknown attack or zero-day attack is available in the market, initially neither Checkpoint can protect you, nor Palo Alto can protect you, or any third vendor. Any from initial zero-day attack, yes, No one can protect you. But yes, once zero-day attack is detected here, the firewall will send the information to the vendor if your device has sandbox inspection capability, or in the term of Checkpoint, if you have client sandblast subscription. So that file will be sent to the Checkpoint, okay, and they will give you signature update or IPS signature update as soon as possible. After that, that will be blocked here. In Checkpoint, sandbox inspection capability is known as Checkpoint Sandblast, and same concept is called wildfire on Palo Alto. If you, this is Palo Alto firewall, this sandbox inspection is called wildfire. If this is Cisco device, same capability is called Talos. So this was something about that what is your Checkpoint Sandblast. Checkpoint Sandblast is actually sandbox inspection. When we enable it on firewall, if firewall will see any unknown attack information, firewall will send the information to cloud so that the firewall can get update about the attack as soon as possible. Now question is this: how much time will be spend here when we will send a file and when we will receive the update? We are doing two things here. Firewall is sending, yes, firewall is sending the file, as well as at one time firewall is receiving the update. Okay, sending the file and receiving update. What is the time window here? So these vendor says when you will send the file, you will get the update. They says within 3 to 5 minutes. If you have send a file to us within 3 to 5 minutes, you will receive the update. After sending file within 3 to 5 minutes, you will receive the update. So this is their means selling strategy. Means if you are sending file to our cloud or data center, within 3 to 5 minutes we will update you as well as other firewalls. So this was something about what is Checkpoint Sandblast or sandbox inspection. Next, what we have? Next we have here clustering. So what is clustering here? Clustering here, clustering means you can use one firewall. So let's understand clustering here. We are talking about cluster XL, or you can also call HA. We have a PC. We have a PC here. PC is connected with switch network. Switch is connected with Checkpoint Firewall, and Checkpoint Firewall is connected with here internet. Done. Okay, now this firewall is responsible for secure communication in to out or out to in. It may be possible this firewall can goes down. Then we will not be able to communicate with internet, or in to out or out to in communication will not be there. To solve this single point of failure, we can use here multiple firewalls or multiple gateways. So this is our firewall 1, this is our firewall 2. In Checkpoint terminology, we don't call it firewall, we call it gateway 1 and gateway 2. So with the help of cluster XL or HA, what we can do? We can group multiple checkpoint gateways together, and we can treat them as a single gateway. So these gateway will be merged into a single cluster, and to this cluster what we will do here, we will create VIPs here, like virtual IP 1 for example, one virtual IP will be here for inside host like 192.168.101.1. Another VIP we will use for another interface. For example, this is our port number 1. This is our port number one. For port number one, we will use one interface. We also have here port number two, and for port number two, we will use another virtual IP like this one. Now, this VIP will be used for the communication. For this virtual IP, when we will use clustering, one of them will be here master. So one will be here like master, and another will be like here backup. Okay, another will be backup here. So first of all, master is responsible to forward the traffic from in to out or out to in. Then what will happen if your master will goes down? If your master will goes down, then backup will promote itself. Then backup will promote itself from backup to now. Backup will promote itself as a master. When backup the firewall is master, then it will hold all VIPs. Now VIPs will be virtual IPs will be shifted from your primary to secondary. Now virtual IP 192.168.101.1 and virtual IP 101.1.1 100 will be shifted from your primary to secondary, which is now master. Now new device is master. Now when new device is master, then you will see that all the traffic will be forwarded by new master into out, out to in. So what we are getting here, actually we are using two firewall, and first primary is responsible to send the traffic. If primary will goes down, then secondary is responsible to send the traffic. And with either primary is sending traffic or secondary is sending the traffic, now we are getting here continuous network access. There is no outage or there is no connectivity failure. So how we can define what is clustering or HA here? With the help of checkpoint cluster XL or HA, we can group multiple checkpoint firewall as a single. We can treat them as a single firewall. And when we are using clustering, one firewall will be master, another will be backup. First, master is responsible to send the traffic. If master will goes down, then secondary or backup will promote itself as a master, and that is responsible to send the traffic. So with the help of actually clustering, we are getting uninterrupted network connectivity or uninterrupted network access with the help of redundant checkpoint gateway. This is called clustering, and in clustering we don't use physical interface IP address. Actually we create virtual IP address for every interface, and that virtual IP address will act as a gateway for their respective lane, or that will be used for communication at the places of physical interface. And to perform cluster, we need to connect one gateway to another where with a dedicated interface port number one. So we have here what we have: port number one, port number two, port number one, port number two. So we need to connect two gateways together with a dedicated interface like port number three. This interface will be called CCL, cluster control link, and this CCL use at this interface we will use a protocol that is called CCP, cluster control protocol. Okay, so this is just introduction. Detailed we will do at the time when the trap topic will come. So conclusion, with the cluster XL or HA, we will get uninterrupted network access with the help of redundant checkpoint gateways. Okay, so this was something about your clustering. Next, we have two small labs here. Certificate-based logins on SMS. When we log in on SMS server, you can use username and password. If you want this process more secure, instead of username password, you can use certificate here, as well as you can also create here admin profiles. For example, you want that in your company you have level 1 engineer. To level 1 engineer you only want to give read-only access. So you can also create admin account, and for that admin account, you can allocate read-only permission profile. Those engineers who you will assign that profile, they can only see the configuration, but they don't they can't do any modification. If you want to provide additional rights, you can do with the help of permission profile. So this will be the content which we will cover in this entire training. So this is a brief objective here. And if you want to see detailed information in the same checklist or browser which you will download from I-MEDITA website. Detailed content you can see here that what we will cover in firewall introduction, what is sandbox inspection, what will be the Gaia overview installation, and detailed how to download ISO install. So this is our detailed checklist from the same browser. You can get that what we will learn in static routing with the help of GUI CLI, RIP with the help of CLI GUI, OSPF we will learn with the help of CLI GUI. Then in IPv6 same static routing, default routing, we will learn all these routing options with the help of CLI GUI. What we will learn in Zone IPv4 v6 time-based access. In net we will learn auto net, manual net. In IPv6 we will learn net, and these are the rest of the topics are same. So you can download detailed lab section from your I-MEDITA website, or you can get the, so this will be our content. So same content which we have discussed here. So this is the content, and the content says it is from, we can say it is from firewall introduction. It is from firewall introduction to, we have here administrator admin profile or permission profile. Same thing we have mentioned here. Go to your weekend, then checkpoint. Okay, so what we have here. So same thing is here. We will cover, so you can see. So what we have done now. So we have done here course content introduction, admin profile. Same thing is here. You have firewall introduction to till your admin profiles. Okay, so what we have done today? Today we have done here what? Course content introduction. Okay, and time is about or not about, time has already finished. So today we will only keep course content introduction, and tomorrow we will start with the next topic which you are watching on your screen, and you can download browser for your reference that what we have covered, what is missing, or what will come next. It will help you. Only today, only this one. If you have any question, we can go through. Otherwise, or we can talk on them. Or if no question, then see you tomorrow. So any question from your side?
Hello.
Yes, Nitin.
Yes, sir. Sir, good afternoon, sir, and thank you for the
Good
wonderful
afternoon.
training. Thank you for the wonderful training, sir. Sir, I have a question. When you explain the HTTP inspection, so
Uh-huh.
you mentioned the quota on the proxy server. So
Okay.
is there not any another way on the firewall we can control on the connection?
Which connection? First, clear your doubt that
Yeah,
you are.
sir,
Mhm.
at the time you mentioned that
Uh-huh.
somebody is accessing through the limit, also you can control over the quota based.
Mhm.
So when you mentioned that the firewall can't do this particular things, the
Yes.
checkpoint will not do. If as per the requirement is there that we need to be do this thing on the firewall, so is there any way we can control over there?
Okay. Now, what I will say, it is not necessary that I know the everything, okay? Or it is not
Okay.
necessary that you know the everything. So what we can do, we can try, or we can try or search, or we can do R&D, that is there any option. But most of the firewalls, okay, which I have seen, the deeper control when we are talking related to URL filtering, that is not done by them. For that, the vendors or companies use dedicated proxy server. Clear?
Clear. And second question is that you had mentioned the sandbox.
Mhm.
So where you mentioned that when we send the request to sandbox server, it's a timing to receive the update 3 to 5 minutes.
Yeah, all
So
vendors do marketing of that. There is certain time and limitation. Listen, we know very well that we all candidates which we are in here in meeting, we all use toothpaste of any vendor, either it is Colgate, Pepsodent, Sensodyne, or even Baba Ramdev, Patanjali products. So still we have gum problems and teeth problems. But in marketing or in advertisement, what they say, when you are using, then you are 100% what? You are
mm,
100%
good.
protected. So same here, when we are saying that okay, you will get the update within 3 to 5 minutes, okay, so this is vendor to vendor, it is different. Now question is this, with this term, what we know, Dettol kills 100%, or Dettol kills germs 99%, but there is also one thing, star is also there. Term and conditions are also there.
Applied.
Okay, so same here, when you are saying, okay, if you will case against them, I have submitted file, I'm not giving up, I'm not getting update within 3 to 5 minutes, so I will case you, then we'll say no. We will send you update, but there are some certain term and conditions are there. If they will match, we will send you. Otherwise, technically, it is not possible. But yes, update definitely we will give you. Clear?
When some unknown attack is coming on the firewall,
Correct.
and you told me that the request will go to the checkpoint cloud. Okay.
Mhm.
When the hit of the firewall, s- at the time the file will go into our environment, or will at the time will block or the stop at their level, on the on the firewall edge level, and once come the update, then it will come onto the our internal section or internal environment, or what will be happen, sir?
This is the client
Okay,
connected with checkpoint, and it is connected with internet, and internet is connected with a public server. Now we have, at internet we have, for example, data center or cloud of checkpoint. When the public server will send any kind of file, that file will match with non-signature, not
correct.
matching, then it will be match with your second rule, send blast. If that will match with send blast, now the same file, whatever the name or file is there, the same file copy.
Will
When I
go
was
to.
saying that file attack, unknown attack information will be sent to cloud, it means it, the file which contains that virus or attack, that file copy will send to checkpoint cloud. Got it?
Got it, sir. Got it, sir.
Now what will happen when they are sending this file? This file is still allowed. This file which contain 0-day attack, that will be sent to client as well, and client will receive this file which contain 0-day attack. So remember it, when 0-day attack is happening, firewall will still allow it because it doesn't know about the attack. It is attack there, but firewall has no signature, then firewall can't stop it. The file will go, original file will go to client, file copy will go to cloud. Now, when you will send the file to the cloud, they will inspect it, and after inspection, they will generate what? They will generate signatures. Those signatures will be sent to firewall. Firewall will add the signature in the database. Now, again, if user is trying to download the same file, now this file will be again checked with non-signature and unknown signature. But now this file signature are already available in the database. Now it is not unknown for us, it is known for us. Second time it will be blocked here.
So, sir, first time it is attacked on the fire, it's come on the firewall. That means the our user will be compromised on the
Yes,
first. Yeah.
either
Okay.
you will
Got
purchase Checkpoint solution, Palo Alto solution, FortiGate solution. Remember it. Initially, I also repeat this thing many more than one or two times. Initially, no one can protect you. If
Oh,
you are facing 0-day attack first time, you will be goes down. But when your client will goes down and you have submitted the file to the cloud, cloud will generate signature. Okay, that signature will go to another checkpoint firewall as well. If the same attack will happen there, they already have signature, they will stop it, that attack, when that is trying to enter their organization. But initially, no one can protect you.
even though the endpoint security will be on the cloud, on the system.
If endpoint security can recognize it, they can block it. If they are not able to recognize it, then simple, that your host or server or client, whatever you that is trying to access the file, that will be compromised,
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you so
because
much.
they also works on signatures. So signatures, they should generate signatures by learning attack. So if they attack is totally new, then no one can help you. Okay. So it
Okay,
depends on which kind of protection you are using on endpoint site. But all all vendors, if anyone is saying you are protected from unknown attack, initially you are protected from unknown attack, there is term and condition star, that you are protected if you are not the first victim. Okay. But if you are the first victim, this thing is not applicable on you. No one can protect you. But what we are doing, we are minimizing that time. For example, just assume in 2019, entire world was facing a problem like corona. Until we realized that this is not normal diseases, it is a special or abnormal diseases. Until we realized entire world was in the effect. But now, in assume what would happen, that okay, if we catch the first patient of corona, if we if would be able to detect, or we would be able to identify the first corona patient, then if we got that, and we have sent that patient to the pharma companies, and they will, or they would work on it, or they will analyze that virus, and if they already produce medicine or solution technique, then there was no such damage. But it is very easy to say technically, that we will detect it, we will send it to the cloud or vendor, they will analyze it, they will give update. It is as it is easy to do, as at another side it is also hard to implement, because there are another criterias also also exist in the place. Your firewall should be able to detect it, and firewalls need to be successfully send the file to the cloud, and at the cloud that should be there. So there are multiple things. Yes, these things work, but there is also some term and conditions and limitations available or exist in the system or platform or whatever you will call it. Clear?
uh, clear, sir. But another question, sir. If
Mhm.
the any environment it's come on the first time,
Okay.
so I believe this unknown attack will be the first time because everywhere.
Yes.
So believe that consider this some any another company they immediately update their database also.
Mhm.
Correct, sir? From
Not
the
not company.
checkpoint.
What I'm saying, you are here in India. Okay. In India, one client send a request to public server. Public server is sending 0-day file. Now, this will come at firewall. Firewall has no signature. This host will be compromised. No one can stop it. But yes, when this host is going down or will be affected, we can save another companies, another countries as well. So this firewall will
Correct.
send the information to file to Checkpoint Cloud. Now Checkpoint Cloud or data center will generate signatures. So this signature will send to like which one? US, or that will be sent to UK firewall or UK location checkpoint devices. Now, what will happen? If the same attack will be happen on their firewall, then they already have the signature that will be stopped. So this 0-day attack will be stopped when that is entering in their organization. So here you can see that the attack which was unknown for you, still you are protected from for that. But question is there, initially when it was happened somewhere, no one can protect that. So you can also keep or you can reverse your places. Now assume this is not India, you can place it, okay, it is US or UK. If any attack is being there, then they will send information to cloud will also update to India location firewall. If the same attack will come here, then firewall will block it because it has signature. But initially, if something is happening there, initially you can't stop it. But yes, if you are not the first victim, you are the second one, you are protected. But if you are the first victim, no one can protect you. Clear?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Welcome. Anything else from another candidates?
Hello, sir. I am asking that why we don't have put such kind of restriction. Why we allow this kind of data at very first time? We
Okay,
can
reason
put.
is this, you don't have right to block it. Listen, if vendor provides you a capability in
Mhm.
your device, okay, that what? Simple coding. For example, if you see non-attack, then they should be denied. And if you have unknown attack, they should be denied. If this capability is in your device, so do you think that vendor will code this functionality in your device? If you have received a device which is which is protecting you from known and unknown attack and nothing to do here, can you tell me, will you purchase any another device after purchasing this device?
Right.
So you only just purchase it one time, then
Mhm.
there is no need to purchase anything. When there is no need to purchase anything, it means with the help of this capability, vendor has killed himself. Okay, because after this there is no need to purchase anything. If they can deploy it, still it means they want to wipe their existence from the world by willingly, if they can do, but still they will not do it. Clear?
Okay.
Got it?
Got it, sir.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question. For example, the firewall is advertised with 20 gig firewall and 4 gig threat prevention.
Mhm.
So if I disable one of the feature like anti-bot on the firewall, is
Mhm.
it will be more than 5 gig? Like 5 gig means all the features are
It
on.
depends on, listen, when you are talking about throughput, it is mentioned in documentation when you are purchasing that this firewall will provide a certain amount of throughput with the help of when these features are enabled. So for that you have to check device throughput documentation which can help you. But from a certain threshold, not more that. Clear?
Okay, okay, okay. And another question is licensing. So we have, I think, one permanent license and another one is subscription-based license.
Mhm.
So the permanent is this just the firewall policies only, and the rest next generation features and threat prevention are subscription-based.
The blades which we will enable, okay, like antivirus, anti-spyware, URL filtering, content awareness, okay, they mostly all vendors provides subscription base 1 year or 2 year or 3 year. It depends vendor to vendor, okay, but all the features are not totally permanent.
Okay, okay. Just the firewall is permanent, basic
So
firewall.
simple firewalling can be permanent, but another features, firewall means simple int allow int to out. This
Yeah, yeah.
can be permanent, but rest of the features will not be permanent. If they are doing so, it means still they are going toward money loss. So no vendor provide this.
Like where
Okay.
continuous means where continuous update is required from checkpoint. they will put
Yes,
a subscription on it.
they
Yeah. Like
means
Blue
for
Whale is
version will change. Okay, in version not maybe there, but yes, the features which you are using, they are subscription based. They are not permanent, and all vendors are doing the same. No features are permanent. Basic things you can get, but the features like send blast, another
Mhm.
one content awareness, URL
Yes.
filtering, you have to purchase with subscription. Now it depends on you or depends on vendor, that mostly vendors provide subscription of 1 year or 3 year subscription, but it can be differ vendor to vendor. Clear?
Yep, yep. Sir, another one thing also, I don't know if you're gonna cover that maybe end of this course.
Mhm.
Just wanna know the introduction of Mastro, platform from Checkpoint. So I think it's 3, 4 years old, and it works totally different. Are you gonna cover this?
No. So why I'm saying no? Before teaching you or before telling you, we have to verify the things. Okay. No another means there can be another feature, but question is there. Whatever the content for in this training we are doing promise to you that we will cover this content. Beyond this content, we will not cover anything. Okay, because we also have some limitation. So I'll not do any fake commitment. We will cover that. No, we as
Okay.
we are doing some commitment. We will cover this. You are paying something because that is not a small amount. I'm not saying that is small or huge amount, but whatever the SLA which you are doing with I-MEDITA, according to that, this will be the content. It will be 100% cover. Beyond this, no. Clear?
Okay, no, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay,
Thanks.
one minute, please. Anything else?
Sir, you had mentioned the zero-day attack.
Hmm.
Can can you explain more why it is mentioned as zero day? Is there any concept, or is it the naming convention just like that?
Listen, for example, uh,
Oh,
So
one.
can you comment on this? It's a quick one. Basically, 0 days, like they just
Yes, you
like
can also. You have
like
right.
like a virus has 5 commands,
Mhm.
Python commands. Okay, so but they're gonna change just a slight variable name in the fifth command. So it's totally new. Just one line of code in a virus make it a totally different virus. So what happens? The virus, how these firewalls vendor do this? They calculate the hash value of the virus file, and if you change one character, single character in the file, the hash value totally get changed, right? So that's why hacker do it. They just change one slight line of code, and the hash value totally change of the file, which firewall vendors don't have. So that is called 0 day, I would say.
Hmm. Same thing. It is actually, listen, in our field, we are human. We also face day to day. We all face or get face to face with like diseases. Okay. But diseases are changing time to time. Okay, with the help due to environment, due to human body behavior, due to lifestyle, or another parameters are also there. Okay, so here, for example, is corona is a good example of this one. I'm not saying, or the expert says corona was also there before 2019, but the variant was different. Okay, but due to environment or another conditions, the variant changed. When the variant changed of diseases, that affected human body in a different way. Here, when any previous corona was there, there were some signatures, there were some pattern, were some behavior that how it will affect the human body in or which organs it will affect, but the new variant was if working in a different way. So same here, when you know this is attack, okay, but now the a pattern of attack is changing, which is not in your list, that will be called here unknown attack here. For example, till now you have, you know that in our computer industry, there can be 100 types of attack, but after some time they will increase. When they are increasing, they are totally new for you, and they will be counted as a unknown attack, and or you can name them as a 0-day attack. Clear?
Clear, sir.
Like coronavirus had protein spikes something, and then it has nucleus. Yeah, I think.
Like this. So that is
Yeah,
not related to our field. It is only just to make our make understand. Okay. So
that's right.
So,
let's
sir,
finish it and see you
one
tomorrow.
small question, sir. One more small question, sir. So in your in your description of the all the course material, there is also covered the DMZ option, DMZ portion, or it will not cover.
DMG is not a big deal. It is a term used
Yeah.
for that network which is neither totally internal or external. So it is just a name.
Okay.
Okay.
So we will discuss on that, sir, in
It
this.
is it is no again I'm saying it is a simple definition of DMG. Listen, you
Okay.
have e-commerce server. You e-commerce server you will not place in inside,
Mm,
because if that server will be compromised, your entire inside network will be compromised. So what we do, we place that server in a network that is called DMZ, demilitarized zone. Simple. There is
okay.
no need to do more than 1 hour or 2 hour talk on this. Simple.
Okay.
DMZ is a network which is neither totally internal or nor totally external. Clear?
Clear, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Welcome. See you tomorrow. Bye. In previous class, we completed our training till course content introduction. Today, we have next topic or point here, firewall introduction. I hope that most of you guys have idea that what is firewall, but still we will use some definition so that we can understand it. If you know it, you can bypass. If you don't know, okay, then you can use or you can go through with the content which we are covering here. Now, let's start. What is firewall? First of all, let's understand it with the help of diagram. Then we will go through with these definition. Assume we have PC connected with router. Router is connected with another router, and that router is connected with PC. For easy understanding, we can give IP addressing like 192.168.101.100, 192.168.101.1, 192.168.1.1, 192.168.1.2, 192.168.102.1, and 192.168.102.100, like this. So in this way, we have topology or diagram. After IP addressing and routing, this is your PC1, this is your PC2. Now, after IP addressing and routing, you can make it possible that PC1 can communicate with PC2 and PC2 can communicate with PC1. It will happen when we will configure IP addressing and routing. Now, requirement changed. We want PC1 should be able to communicate with PC2, but PC2 should not be able to communicate with PC1. To achieve this functionality, we have to use firewall. Question is where we will use this firewall. We will replace router with firewall. So we will deploy here one firewall. One firewall can goes down. You can deploy here clustering or HA. Done. Now, what this firewall will do? At this firewall, we will define policy. We will define policy like this. If source network is 192.168.101.0 and destination network is 192.168.102.0, then action should be here allow. Such kind of policy we will deploy at this firewall. Now, what this firewall is doing, or what is this firewall? Now we can understand it. Okay, when we are saying firewall, so firewall is a system. There can be a single system or group of system. When you are using HA, firewall can be a single system or group of system that manage access between two or more network. We have one source network, one destination network. Between these two network, firewall is managing access. Who can access which one? There can be multiple networks. So we can simply define firewall is a system or group of system that manage access between two or more network. Next thing is here, firewall can be hardware. Yes, when you are replacing router with firewall, at that time firewall will be hardware. Firewall can be software. When we will say firewall is software, in our industry, in computers or on servers, what we will do? We install antivirus. When we installed antivirus, some people also called that antivirus as a host firewall. So firewall can be hardware, firewall can be software, but in present time firewall can be virtual appliance. Now question is when the firewall will be virtual appliance. So before going through the firewall's virtual format or as a virtual appliance, this thing should be clear. Firewall will be a single system or it will be a group of system that will manage access between two or more network. It can be hardware, software or virtual appliance. Now let's go through with the case or scenario when the firewall will be in virtual format. In present time, we use cloud and we use two types of cloud, like we use here private cloud and we also use here public cloud. When we are saying private cloud, what do you mean by what is the meaning of saying private cloud? Private cloud means here VM, where ESXi. And public cloud means Google Cloud Platform, Microsoft Azure, and Amazon Web Services. These are public cloud. On private cloud or public cloud, you can deploy your virtual server. And to protect virtual server, we need our virtual appliance. Same here. On GCP, Microsoft Azure, or as well as on AWS, we can deploy virtual server. And to protect that virtual server, we need our virtual firewall. So for public cloud or private cloud, you can use firewall as a virtual appliance. So what is firewall? This thing should be clear here. Next, we have here firewall techniques. In present time, firewall can use any one technique or one firewall can use all techniques. It depends on the vendor that how many techniques vendor implemented in their firewall. Like first technique is here packet filtering. Some people also called it stateless packet filtering. Next one is here proxy server. Next one is here stateful firewall. Next transparent firewall. And next is here next generation firewall, which I told you yesterday. It is also called here sandbox inspection, and some vendor also called it reputation reputation based firewall. Who called this reputation based firewall? Cisco. Okay. And sandbox inspection, which I already told you. So these are the firewall techniques used in present time: packet filtering, proxy server, stateful firewall, transparent firewall, and next generation firewall. Now let's understand these techniques here. So first of all, we have here packet filtering or stateless packet filtering. I hope that you all the guys have the knowledge of CCNA, and in CCNA we use a technique or concept or we learn a topic access list. Now packet filtering. In stateless packet filtering or packet filtering, packets are filtered using access list. Yes, in this technique we can filter the packet using access list. In stateless packet filtering, packet can be filtered based on layer 3 to layer 7 of OSI model. In OSI model, we have 7 layers, and with the help of packet filtering, we can filter the traffic from layer 3 to layer 7. When we use access list, then you can use different types of access list like standard access list, extended access list, named access list, and time-based access list. There are also another types of access list here like dynamic access list, reflexive access list, and TCP established keyword ACL. The purpose of this slide is only learn about firewall technique. First is packet filtering. In packet filtering, packets are filtered with the help of ACL. With the help of ACL, we can filter the traffic layer 3 to layer 7. There are many types of like access list, standard, extended, name, time-based, and like dynamic and reflexive and TCP established keyword ACL. Such kind of ACL you can use here. Now we want to learn what are the advantages and disadvantages of packet filtering. Let's go through first with advantages. When we are saying when you are using access list, then first advantage will be here easy to implement. How you or we can say that it will be easy to implement, to understand it? Let's go through with diagram. We have a PC connected with router via switch. Router is connected with another router or switch that is connected with a server. This is our source, this is our destination. When source is PC router interface 0 by 0, 0 by 1, if PC is the source, traffic will in at the interface 0 by 0, it will out from the interface 0 by 1. At these two interface, at one interface or on both interface, we can deploy here access control list. Now, if this server belong to HTTP, then what we need to do? We need to allow, what we need to allow? HTTP port number, that is TCP port number 80. If you want that PC can access this server, then we only need to only allow TCP port number 80 and apply it in direction or out direction. If we have here HTTPS, then we need to allow the port number of HTTPS, that is TCP 443. If the server belongs to SMTP, then we need to allow the port number of SMTP TCP 25. If you know the port number of your application, then we can say it is easy to implement. Okay, next advantage is here cost effective. How we can say it will be cost effective? It will be cost effective because the ACL configuration supported by switch and router. If your infrastructure device support ACL configuration, then there is no need to purchase additional device. And when you are not doing any investment or expense, then definitely it will be cost effective. So you can count two advantages of packet filtering or ACL. It will be easy to implement and it will be cost effective. But along with advantage, it also has disadvantage like not scalable. So what is the meaning of not scalable? Not scalable meaning is here, if we have 100 source, if we have 10 destination, if we have here 10 service, then question is here, how many ACL entries need to create? How many ACL entries we have to create here? Then formula is multiply source with destination, then multiply with services. 100 multiply 10, 1,000 multiply 10. So you have to create 10,000 entries to allow the traffic from 100 source to 110 destination, 10 service. So the job of creating 10,000 ACL entries is not an easy job. That's why we can say this thing is not scalable. Next, we have here disadvantage. Complex access lists are hard to create and maintain. You can't create complex ACL. So what is the meaning of this complex ACL here? Complex ACL meaning is this. We have a PC connected with router. Router is connected with internet. And internet is connected with DNS server. This is our DNS server. So what we need to do? We need to create a rule. We will create a rule on router that allow what we need to allow. Allow UDP 53. Allow UDP 53. This is our rule on our router. Now what will happen using this? What we have a normal client. Normal client is just sending normal client is sending DNS query. Normal client is sending DNS query that will be encapsulated into UDP port number 53, and UDP port number 53 traffic will come at router or firewall. It will check, okay, it is allow, then you will see the DNS packet is here allow. But assume here we also have another server like torrent. Now what will happen? Now we have another user that will send torrent data. Okay, that torrent data will be encapsulated under UDP port number 53. That traffic will come at firewall or router, and that is going to UD that is using UDP port number 53. That is also allowed. So this is the disadvantage of packet filtering, that you will create a rule. In rule you will allow the port at that port number any traffic is allowed, either it is DNS or torrent. So you can't create an ACL here that ACL says or state if DNS traffic is going at port number 53, that should be allowed. And if your what is going if your torrent traffic is going at port number 53, that should not be allowed, that should be dropped. So such kind of thing we can't deploy with the help of access list. So this is the disadvantage of your packet filtering or access list. After packet filtering, let's move to next topic, which is our proxy server. Before going with definition, let's understand it with the help of diagram. And to understand it, we have a PC. PC is connected with router, and router is connected with, okay, 1 minute. PC is connected with router. Router is connected with here internet, and this internet is connected with public servers like we have here Google, we have Facebook, we have here torrent like this Google server, Facebook server, torrent server, or XYZ, another one. At this router, we have configured network address translation with the help of net. We have a user here. This user can access Google, Facebook, torrent, or any another website. But we want this user should not be able to communicate with torrent or Facebook or another one. For that, what we will deploy? We don't have firewall. So what is the solution to stop the user to access a restricted website? To stop it, we need to purchase or deploy a solution that is called here proxy server. So we will deploy proxy server in our lane. We will deploy proxy server in our lane, and this will be our proxy server. At proxy server, we will define policies. Policies will be like this. If anyone is going for Google, that should be allow. Okay, if anyone is going for Google, that should be allow. If anyone is going for Facebook, that should be deny. If anyone is going for torrent server, for example, that should be deny. So this thing we have to configure at our proxy server. Done. Now, client needs to send request to proxy server, but client will not send. So as a system engineer or network engineer, you have options. You can force the client to send the request to proxy server. So first deployment method you can use here, that proxy server can be deployed in two-way. First method is here explicit proxy. First method is here explicit proxy. First method is here explicit proxy, and in explicit proxy we do client configuration. So we configure client that you have to send request to proxy server. So assume we have configured or we have implemented explicit proxy. Now what will happen? Client in explicit proxy, client will send request to client will say, I am going to Google, I want to access Google. Request will come at proxy. Proxy will check its rule. Yes, it is allow. When it is allow, then third step, proxy will send request to Google and Google will give reply to proxy and proxy will give reply to client. In this way, your traffic will go. Now, client will access the Google. It may be possible that client want to access Facebook, then what will happen? The first request will be here, like client will say, I want to access Facebook. Request will come to proxy. Proxy will again check here which one? Now proxy will check, okay, request is coming for Facebook and Facebook is deny. Then third step, proxy will say to client that Facebook is equal to deny. You can't access Facebook. This will happen when you will use explicit proxy. Another method to deploy proxy server is here. You can use proxy server as a transparent proxy. As a transparent proxy, in transparent proxy, we do gateway configuration. We do gateway configuration. So either you configure the client to send the request to proxy or you will configure the gateway that send request to proxy. Then what will happen in transparent proxy? Client will send request that I want to go to, for example, I want to go to Google. Request will come to I want to communicate with Google. Request will come at router. Then router will send the request to proxy. Proxy will check that Google is allow. Then in fourth step, proxy will send request to Google. Google will give reply to proxy and proxy will give reply to client. In this way, your traffic will go. Now look here. When we are deploying proxy, we need request should arrive here. We can send the request to proxy via explicit proxy method or via transparent proxy method. Now you can see when the client is going out, it is going through proxy. When reply is coming back, that is also coming through proxy. So this proxy server is working as an intermediate system. At this proxy server, we have policies that which website is allowed, which is deny. So in this way, your proxy server will work here. Now to understand whatever we have understood with the help of diagram, same thing you can learn here that when we are talking about proxy server works as an intermediate system between inside and outside world. Proxy server will not allow inside user to go outside directly or vice versa. Neither your request will directly go out or out to in, reply out to in. Proxy server is also called application gateway, or some people also called it application firewall. Proxy server is mostly used for URL filtering. URL stand for Universal Resource Locator or Uniform Resource Locator. Limitations of proxy servers. If you are using single proxy, okay, it may be possible that you are only using one proxy server that can goes down. Then don't use single, use here two proxy. One will be here primary and another secondary. When primary will goes down, secondary is there. So single point of failure problem can be solved with the help of HA. Next limitation is here, it introduce delay. There will be delay. Now you can't solve it. Delay will be there. That will be in millisecond. 100% you can't finish the delay. But yes, what you can do, you can minimize this delay. How we can minimize this delay? For example, we have PC connected with switch. Switch is connected with proxy server. Proxy server is connected with router. Router is connected with internet. If we have scenario like this, then okay, so how we can minimize the delay? First solution with the help of here high throughput high throughput network devices. You can deploy high throughput means you can deploy gigabit gigabit interface switch. You can deploy gigabit interfaces routers, and you can take here means 1 Gbps internet link like this. You can take another thing by purchasing appropriate proxy server for your network. For example, if we have 100 user, then when we will do our POC, proof of concept, through any vendor, we will told them clearly that we have such amount or number of or quantity of users, then suggest us a proxy server which will be good for us or that will be scalable. For example, we have currently 100, after some time there will be maybe 200 users, so we will also keep scalability in our mind, and we will purchase the proxy server according to the our network requirement. And third one is here that good internet connection. Good internet connections means, okay, if we have 100 user, and what we have here, then we have here 1 Mbps link, then this thing, the gigabit throughput switch and router, these will be useless here. So what we need to do, when we have 1 Gbps capable switches routers, then we have to purchase the bandwidth according to it. Otherwise, there will be a congestion at this interface, not here. This device will send the traffic, but when the traffic will enter in the service provider network, there will be congestion. So we 100% we can't minimize it, but yes, we can't remove it, but we can definitely minimize it with a high throughput network device. You can deploy with appropriate proxy server in your network, and with good internet connection, you can minimize the delay, but 100% you can't remove it. So this will be our proxy server, and with the help of proxy server we mostly do URL filtering. Next, we have here another firewall technique. This is stateful firewall. Before going with line, let's understand it with the help of diagram. We have a PC here. PC is connected with switch. PC connected with switch, then it is connected with firewall. That firewall is stateful firewall. Then next we have a server. For easy understanding, you can note down IP address like 192.168.101.100, 192.168.101.1, 192.168.102.1, 192.168.102.100. We have client will use its dynamic port number. It will hit server port number 443. Now what client will do? Client will generate a packet. Packet structure will be like this, like source IP will be here 192 source IP 192.168.101.100, destination IP. It wants to go to 192. It wants to go to 192.168.101.100. Source port will be here 1025. Destination port will be here 443. It is the first packet, and in first packet TCP flag, or we can say here flag will be like this, SYN flag. So we can directly mention TCP SYN flag. Such kind of packet will be generated by PC. PC will send this packet to firewall. This firewall is our stateful firewall. Stateful firewall will create a database like source IP, or it will like who is coming 192 168.101.100 is coming. It is going to 192.168.102.100. Source port is here 1025. That is going to the port number 443. First packet must be seen. If it is not the same, then packet will be dropped by the firewall. Such kind of database will be created, and after creating the database, then the packet in fourth step, packet will be forwarded to actual destination, or packet will go to actual destination. Now server has received a packet. What server will do? Server will give reply. In reply, this server in reply, server will create a packet, and the in packet source IP will be server now 192.168.102.100. Destination IP will be 192.168.101.100, and then we have here source port. Now source port will be reverse here. Source port will be here 443, destination port 1025, and in the response of SYN, server will send SYN plus acknowledgement. Such kind of packet will be generated by server, and server will send this packet to firewall. So this packet will come to firewall. When packet will arrive at firewall, firewall will check, okay, who is coming? 102.100. Yes, we have in our database. It is going where? It is going to 101.100. Yes, matching with our database. Layer 3 information match. Which port number is coming? 443. Yes, matching with our database. And it is going to port number 105. Yes, layer 4 information is also matching. What is coming? SYN plus ACK is coming. SYN plus ACK is coming. Okay. Do we have sent SYN? Yes. First SYN was sent from client to server. Now server is sending SYN plus ACK. Now it means they are following the procedure, or we can say here means when a client will send a request to server through stateful firewall, then stateful firewall will allow only reply, not any request. So when reply packet will come, firewall will match reply packet information with database. If it is matching, then this traffic or packet will be allow here. If any information will not match, then packet will be drop here. In this scenario, layer 3, layer 4 and flags are matching, so it will be allow. What will happen if this information will not match? Okay, when the information will not match if the server will not give reply. Now assume this server is not giving reply. Instead of reply, this server is sending a request. When server is sending request, source IP will be 102.100, destination will be 101.100. Source port, when server is sending request, source port will be dynamic, and it wants to access the PC with the help of RDP 3389. Now destination port is 3389, and because server is sending its request, so it will be sent. Now this packet will arrive at firewall. Now what firewall will do? Firewall will check, okay, who is coming? 102.100, 102. It is going where? It is going to 101, 101. Layer 3 information is matching here. What about layer 4? Which port number is coming? 1025, 1025. Not matching. It is going where? It is going to 3389. Not matching. And what is coming? SYN is coming. In the response of SYN can't come. Now at this time when the traffic is coming out to in, that traffic is not matching with our database. Layer 3 information here, layer 3 is matching, but rest of the informations, layer 4 information, flags, they are not matching. When the information will not match with our database, then what firewall will do? Firewall will drop this packet. So this will be done by stateful firewall. And remember it, in present time, all vendors firewalls are stateful firewall. Now, Whatever we have learned through diagram, same thing is mentioned here in slide. And what it is saying? It is saying that what is stateful firewall? Stateful firewall maintain the state of connection when packet is traveling through the appliance. Stateful firewall maintain the state of connection in state table. After adding information in state table, stateful firewall forwards the packet to actual destination. When stateful firewall receives the reply packet, stateful firewall match reply packet information to its state table. If reply packet match, packet is accepted, otherwise packet is dropped. As I told you that if your reply packet will match, then definitely firewall will accept it, otherwise packet will be dropped here. When we talk about state table, so this table is called with different name by different vendor. Some call it state table, some call it session connection table, some call it session table. So it is up to you that which name you want to give. That table can contain source IP, destination IP, source port, destination port, and additional information can be there, sin plus egg and egg. So this was something or uh, something about stateful firewall. What is next here? Next is here transparent firewall. To understand transparent firewall, first of all, let's go with diagram. And to understand it, assume we have a branch. In branch, what we have in branch, we have PC, one PC to multiple PCs are there, server 1, server 2, multiple servers are there. We have connected PCs and servers. We have connected PC and server with connected with switch, and that switch is connected with here. That switch is connected with router. Router can be connected with remote branch with the help of lease line. That can be connected with the help of MPLS VPN. Connectivity type can be anything, okay, or that can be connected through internet here. Okay, so in this or using three methods, you can connect multiple branches together. Now, when you have scenario like this, what you have connected at the edge of the network, you have implemented or deployed router here. This router, at this router, we will configure IP addressing. We will configure here routing. We will also configure here netting. We will also configure here VPN, and we will also configure here MPLS here. So this configuration we have to configure at this router, then they can communicate. Now, what I want, now I think I need to protect our, or we need to protect our network from attack. To protect our network from attack, when we say we want to protect our network from attack or from unauthorized access, what we have to do? So now a single word came in our mind or comes in our mind that we have to deploy firewall. So what we need to do? We need to replace router. We need to replace router with firewall. So when we are replacing our router with firewall, we need to do IP addressing again, routing again, netting again, VPN again. MPLS you have to configure, but problem is this: firewall doesn't support MPLS. MPLS is not applicable. After that, you will configure here firewall policies. When you will configure firewall policies, then you can say, yes, your network is protected. Your network is protected. Okay. Now, when we are saying network is protected, but to do so, you know that we need expertise of firewall, or to replace router with firewall, we need what? First thing, we need time here. First, second thing, we need expertise here. Okay, as well as also need downtime. So it is not easy job that when we are replacing a router with firewall, there are multiple things on which we have to think: time, expertise, and downtime. Now, we don't, okay, we have, for example, we have expertise, okay, but we don't want to do these things. We don't have too much time, and we can't make here downtime. Means can't, we cannot make our network down for any minute or any hour because we don't want this. Now, question is how we will protect our network. If you don't have time, or you don't want that there should be any outage, but still we need firewall, then there is a solution. Don't replace router with firewall. Then we will use here a firewall technique, and that firewall technique is called here transparent firewall. That is called transparent firewall. We will deploy transparent firewall between lane and gateway. We will connect lane with firewall and firewall with router, and we will break the connectivity between lane and firewall. Now the traffic will go through the firewall. At this firewall, we will deploy here firewall policies. We will deploy firewall policies. Now, with the help it, you can see we have not changed any IP addressing, no IP addressing change, no routing change, no netting change, no VPN change, no MPLS configuration change. Only just we have inserted transparent firewall between local area network and gateway with two interface. Traffic will come from one interface, it will go out from port number 2. If traffic is coming from port number 2, it will out from port number 1. And when traffic is moving from one interface to another interface, then what firewall is doing? Firewall is deploying policies. Firewall will deploy the policy. So this is the advantage of transparent firewall. You can insert firewall in your network without changing any configuration. Without doing any change, you can insert or deploy firewall in your network with the help of transparent firewall. Done. So this was transparent firewall. Same thing we can understand here with the help of definition. What is transparent firewall? Transparent firewall, it works at layer 2. When we are saying it works at layer 2, means it will forward the frame based on destination MAC. It will forward the frame based on destination MAC, but forwarding will be done based on MAC. But still, the firewall, it has capabilities to filter the traffic from layer 2 to layer 7. Still, you can forward the traffic from layer 2 to layer 7. Filtering you can do. In other vendors, this functionality of transparent firewall is available with same name or different name. Different name like vWire. What is the advantage? Advantage is this: you can deploy transparent firewall in your network. If you want to implement firewall in your network without readdressing the surrounding devices or without redesign your network, if you don't want to configure your device again, if you don't want to give IP addressing your device again, then without doing this, still you can deploy firewall in your network, and that solution will be called here transparent firewall. Okay, so this was something about transparent firewall. Now we have learned about what is firewall and firewall techniques like packet filtering, proxy server, stateful firewall, transparent firewall, and what is next generation firewall. That is your sandblast, which I have explained to you yesterday. Done. Any question here? Okay, now let's move further. Firewall techniques we know like packet filtering, proxy server, stateful firewall, transparent firewall, and sandbox inspection. We know about it. Next is what? Next is Checkpoint Gaia introduction or overview. Checkpoint Gaia features introduction. Checkpoint Gaia has normal firewall features and next generation firewall features. Next generation firewall features like first one, it is stateful firewall. It can also act as a transparent firewall. It can be managed by CLI, and GUI management. It support IPv4 routing, IP version 4 routing like static, default, like RIP, OSPF, and ISIS, as well as BGP is also supported by it. It also support IPv6 routing, static and default, RIP NG, OSPF v3, ISIS v6. It also support IPv4 network address translation, IP version 4 network address translation, IPv6 network address translation. It also support IPsec VPN. It also support SSL or remote access VPN. It also support HA, or we can say cluster XL. These are our normal. It also support VRRP, virtual router redundancy protocol. So these features can be provided by normal firewall. But along with it, Checkpoint Gaia also has next generation firewall features. Next generation firewall features like it support HTTPS inspection, also called SSL decryption. It also support application control. It also support URL filtering. It also support antivirus, antibot, IPS signature, that is called threat prevention. It also support AD integration, which is also called identity awareness. So this is called threat prevention, and AD integration is called identity awareness. Okay. It also support what? Content awareness. Okay. As well as monitoring and reporting. Clear? So next generation firewall features HTTPS inspection or SSL decryption, application control, URL filtering, threat prevention blade, antivirus, antibot, IPS, identity awareness, AD integration, content awareness, monitoring and reporting, and sandbox inspection, which is called send blast, sandbox inspection, or send blast, which I told you yesterday. So these are the features provided or supported by Checkpoint Firewall. If someone asks us what is special in Checkpoint Firewall, then we can say to him or her that Checkpoint Firewalls use Gaia operating system, and Checkpoint Gaia has normal firewall features and next generation firewall features.